Did you know that your morning walk, yes, the same one you've been doing faithfully for years, might actually be speeding up your aging process? It sounds shocking, even unbelievable, but doctors are now sounding the alarm. Millions of older adults over 65 think they're doing the right thing by walking every day, yet unknowingly, they're making critical mistakes that could be damaging their joints, weakening their muscles, and increasing their risk of falling. We've always been told that walking is the safest and simplest way to stay healthy in old age. But what if that advice is dangerously incomplete? According to a 2022 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Health, over 78% of seniors who walk daily still experience rapid muscle loss and joint stiffness, simply because they're not walking the right way or balancing it with the right kind of support. The real danger? Most people don't even realize they're harming themselves until something irreversible happens. Maybe you felt a bit more tired after your walk lately. Maybe your knees feel stiffer than they used to. Maybe it's harder to get up from a chair or reach for something on a shelf. These aren't just signs of aging. They're warning lights your body is flashing right now. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 hidden walking habits that are silently hurting people over 65 and show you what to do instead to protect your strength, your joints, and your independence. The 5th habit is something almost no one talks about, but it could change everything for your long-term health. So stay with me. Let's start with the first dangerous habit: walking too long without supporting your muscles through strength training. On the surface, it sounds healthy. Walking for 30, 40, even 60 minutes each day seems like a commitment to longevity. But here's the hidden truth. Walking alone does almost nothing to maintain or build the muscle mass you start losing rapidly after age 65. This condition is called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, and it's one of the leading reasons older adults begin to lose independence. Imagine this. You walk daily, you stay active, yet one day you suddenly realize you can't lift a heavy grocery bag or stand up from the couch without using your hands. That's not weakness from a single day. It's muscle loss that's been happening quietly for years. According to the National Institute on Aging, most seniors lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass each decade after 60, and that number gets worse without resistance-based movements. Walking is great for circulation and cardiovascular health, but it doesn't challenge your muscles enough to stop them from shrinking. Let me tell you about Margaret, age 72. She walked 2 miles every morning, never missed a day. But slowly, tasks like opening a tight jar or getting out of the bathtub started to feel harder. Her doctor explained the truth. Her legs were moving, yes, but her muscles weren't being strengthened. It wasn't until she added light strength exercises like squats with a chair, resistance bands, and counter push-ups that she started regaining energy and confidence in her movements. Think about this for a second. When was the last time you stood up from a chair without pushing off with your hands? Can you do it easily, or is it a struggle? If it's harder than it used to be, your muscles are calling out for help. And the sooner you act, the more of that strength you can recover. Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll share another common walking mistake that nearly every senior I've worked with has made, and almost no one realizes it's destroying their knees. If this is starting to open your eyes, drop a 9 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Now let's talk about the second walking habit that's silently damaging your body: wearing the wrong shoes. It sounds so simple, right? You lace up your old sneakers or slip into your favorite walking shoes and head out the door. But here's the problem. As you age, the shape of your feet changes, your arches flatten, your fat pads thin out, and your joints become more sensitive. Wearing the wrong footwear, even shoes that once felt fine, can lead to serious consequences like knee pain, back misalignment, or even dangerous falls. John, 76, is a perfect example. He walked every morning in his trusty sneakers, Same pair he'd worn for 3 years. Slowly he began feeling heel pain, then tightness in his knees, then a strange ache in his lower back. He assumed it was just aging, but his physical therapist quickly spotted the real issue. His shoes were worn out, offered no shock absorption, and were contributing to a chain reaction of joint stress. According to a report from the CDC, over 1/3 of falls in adults over 65 are directly linked to poor footwear. That's not just discomfort, that's danger. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you replaced your walking shoes? Are they more than a year old? Do they feel flat or loose? If so, they may be silently putting strain on your spine, hips, knees, and ankles with every single step you take. You wouldn't drive a car with bald tires, so why walk every day on worn-out soles? The fix is simple but critical. Invest in well-cushioned, supportive shoes specifically designed for aging feet. Look for features like non-slip soles, arch support, and heel stabilization. A good pair of shoes can feel like a reset button for your entire body. Don't wait for joint pain or a fall to make the change. Coming up next, I'll share a walking mistake that almost every senior makes, but no one ever talks about it. Correcting it takes less than 3 minutes and could prevent a serious injury. The third mistake is something almost no one thinks about, but it's putting your body at serious risk every single day. Walking without warming up. Sounds unnecessary, right? You might think, I'm just going for a walk, not running a marathon. But that thinking is exactly what leads to pulled muscles, joint stiffness, and even sudden spikes in blood pressure or heart strain. As we age, our muscles lose elasticity, our joints become less lubricated, and our circulation slows down after periods of rest. That's why stepping out the door and immediately starting your walk, especially early in the morning, is like trying to start a cold engine on a freezing day. It's not just inefficient, it's dangerous. In fact, studies from the Journal of Aging and Health show that seniors who perform just 3 minutes of light warm-up exercises before walking reduce their fall risk by over 40%. That's a massive number, and it could mean the difference between staying independent or spending months recovering from an avoidable injury. Let me share what happened to Evelyn, 74. She always walked right after waking up. No stretching, no prep. One morning, she stepped off her porch and felt a sharp pull in her calf. She limped for weeks and had to stop walking entirely. Her doctor explained that cold muscles can spasm easily and that one simple habit, warming up, could have prevented the entire ordeal. So what should you do instead? Just 3 minutes of light movement. Ankle circles, shoulder rolls, slow leg swings, gentle back twists. These aren't workouts. They're wake-up calls for your muscles and joints. You don't need a gym. You don't even need to leave the house. Just stand by your door and gently move your body through its natural range of motion. If your first few steps often feel stiff or unsteady, your body is begging you to slow down and prepare. Don't ignore that signal. In the next part, I'll show you a mistake most people don't even realize they're making. Yet, it's silently breaking down your knees, hips, and spine with every step. Now here's the fourth mistake, and it might be the one doing the most long-term damage without you even realizing it. Walking on hard surfaces every single day. Sidewalks, concrete paths, tiled floors. They seem harmless, but they deliver constant repetitive impact to your joints, especially your knees, hips, and lower back. Over time, this wears down your cartilage, irritates your ligaments, and accelerates joint degeneration. Susan, 69, learned this the hard way. She walked faithfully every morning on the paved path near her apartment complex. After a few months, her knees began to ache, then her hips, then her lower back. Her doctor told her the truth no one had ever mentioned. The human body wasn't designed to walk long distances on concrete, especially not as we age and lose natural shock absorption in our joints. According to orthopedic research, walking on hard surfaces increases joint stress by up to 25% compared to softer terrain like grass or dirt. Think about that. Every step you take might be sending shockwaves through your joints, weakening them bit by bit. So here's the question. How does your body feel after your walk? Energized or sore, stiff, and drained? If it's the latter, your walking surface may be silently harming you. The solution isn't to stop walking. It's to walk smarter. Whenever possible, choose softer surfaces like grass, track material, dirt trails, or rubberized floors. And if that's not available, alternate your walking days with lower impact activities like swimming, stationary cycling, or even chair exercises. Your joints will thank you. Walking should be healing, not harmful. Don't let the ground beneath your feet steal your strength without you knowing it. In the next section, I'll reveal the fifth and final mistake, and this one might surprise you the most. It's something almost every senior does, even those who are careful, and it could be the missing piece that's holding your entire body back. And now, we've come to the fifth walking habit that could be silently sabotaging your health, relying on walking as your only form of exercise. This is one of the most common and dangerous mistakes seniors over 65 make, and it's easy to understand why. Walking feels safe. It's familiar. It doesn't require equipment, and it gives a sense of accomplishment. But here's the hard truth. Walking alone doesn't challenge your core muscles. It doesn't improve your posture. It doesn't enhance flexibility, and it barely engages your upper body. In short, you're only training a small portion of your body while the rest slowly weakens. I've seen this pattern again and again. Older adults who walk every day but still suffer from back pain, poor balance, rounded shoulders, or frequent stiffness. Why? Because walking only moves your body in one simple plane, forward, and life demands so much more. Let me tell you about Frank, 75. He prided himself on walking every afternoon. But one day, he reached to grab something from a top shelf and lost his balance completely. His doctor explained that while his legs were active, his core was weak, his balance muscles untrained, and his spine unsupported. It was a wake-up call. He added 5 minutes of balance and flexibility exercises daily, standing on one leg near the counter, side-to-side weight shifts, gentle stretching. And in weeks, he felt steadier, stood taller, and even breathed better. So ask yourself, when was the last time you stretched your spine, strengthened your abs, or challenged your balance? If you can't remember, your body is already compensating, and not in a good way. The good news is, just a few minutes a day can make a powerful difference. Walking is valuable, yes, but on its own, it's dangerously incomplete. In the next part, we're going to connect all of these mistakes and show you what happens to your body if you ignore them. And trust me, the consequences are far more serious than you think. Now that you know the 5 silent walking mistakes, let's talk about what happens if you keep ignoring them, and I need you to hear this clearly, because the consequences are not just discomfort or minor aches. They can be life-altering. When you walk too much without strength training, your muscles shrink. When you walk on hard surfaces or in worn-out shoes, your joints erode. When you skip warm-ups, your risk of falling skyrockets. And when you rely on walking alone, your balance, posture, and flexibility slowly deteriorate. It doesn't happen overnight, but one day, you'll reach for something, trip, and your body won't be strong enough to catch you. The CDC reports that falls are the #1 cause of injury-related deaths in adults over 70. Not heart attacks, not cancer, falls. And most of those falls are preventable. Let me tell you about Robert, age 75. He walked every morning, never missed a day. But he never stretched, never trained his core, and never questioned his routine. One afternoon while walking home from the grocery store, he caught his toe on a curb and fell hard. His hip fractured, he had surgery, and from that day forward, he never walked without a cane again. The worst part? His doctor told him the fall could have been avoided if his balance and posture had been just slightly stronger. That's the real cost of these mistakes. Not just pain, but the loss of independence, confidence, and quality of life. So ask yourself, would your body survive a fall right now? Could you get up without help? Could your hips, back, and legs handle the impact? If you're unsure, that's your wake-up call. It's not too late, but the longer you wait, the more you lose mobility, strength, bone density, and control over your future. You've made it this far in the video, and that tells me you care. So if even one of these habits hit close to home, drop a 9 in the comments right now to let me know you're still here, and more importantly, that you're ready to do something about it. In the final section, I'll give you a clear, simple plan to fix these habits and walk smarter, not harder, for the rest of your life. Let's bring it all together. Walking is good. It's one of the best things you can do to stay active as you age. But walking alone, without support, without awareness, and without balance is not enough. In fact, it can quietly accelerate everything you're trying to prevent: muscle loss, joint wear, poor posture, and ultimately, dependence on others. But here's the powerful truth. Every one of these 5 mistakes can be corrected starting today. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need awareness and a plan. So here it is. First, limit long walks that leave you sore or drained, and pair your walking routine with strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Even basic bodyweight moves will rebuild muscle. Second, inspect your shoes right now. If they're over a year old, worn thin, or offer little support, replace them with cushioned, stable walking shoes. Third, never skip your warm-up. Just 3 minutes of simple movement before you walk can prevent months of pain. Fourth, change your walking surface. Seek grass, dirt paths, or softer floors whenever possible, or alternate with low-impact activities like cycling or swimming. And finally, balance your walking with flexibility, balance, and core exercises. 5 minutes a day is all it takes to keep your spine strong, your posture upright, and your reflexes sharp. This isn't about fear. It's about freedom. You have more control over your body than you think, even after 65, 70, or 80. The human body is incredibly adaptable, but only if you give it the right signals. So I ask you now, which of these habits will you change first? Which one hit you hardest? Leave a comment below and share the one thing you're committing to improve this week. Because the truth is, every step you take can either build you up or slowly break you down. Choose to build. Choose to walk with intention. Choose to age with strength, balance, and confidence. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Someone who needs to hear this before it's too late. You still have time to change the way your body ages, but only if you start now.